Spooky time. Spooky. Welcome to October, ladies and gentlemen. Very deep into October. I'm so sorry, I haven't made a video in a while, but nothing's really piqued my interest. Venom doesn't look that great, and I really don't want to get into the whole Marvel versus the critics thing, because I'm scared that I'm going to be underwhelmed by it. So I haven't even watched it yet, and I'm waiting for things like Welcome to Marwen to come out. I'm waiting for things like, well, that's pretty much it, actually. I want to watch the Crimes of Grindelwald, because I do really like Harry Potter. The first Fantastic Beast movie was actually really, really well done, and the actors they have in that film actually really work for the characters, so I'm excited to see that one too, I guess. I think that's really it, though, coming into the holiday season. I'm going to watch Holmes and Watson, torture myself with that, and let you know my thoughts, as I said in the last video I made, so that's coming. But anyway, spooky time. So everybody is paying attention to one television series on Netflix called Haunting of Hill House, which, to be fair, I've watched a few episodes of, and is actually genuinely pretty good. There are a few things that I would change and don't like about it. The jump scares are not only predictable, but also very annoying. Some of the characters aren't really that well flushed out, I don't think. A lot of people are giving it like this super praise, like it's the best thing we've seen in horror since forever, like, you know, like nothing compares, this is amazing, oh my god. I don't think it's like that good. I think it's like a good step. The effects are great, the atmosphere for the most part is really well done, most of the main characters are well fleshed out and have a great story arc, and overall it's a great show. I guess that's my review of it. However, people are overlooking another show that Netflix has thrown out for the Halloween season, and that's just simply titled Haunted. Now, what Haunted is, compared to Haunting of Hill House, is more of like a... You ever watch those shows like ER or Ambulance and stuff, or Border Patrol, you know, where they kind of do like reenactments of weird ER cases and stuff that people come in, and they have the people that were actually there, like the doctors and the survivors and that kind of stuff, and family members talking about what happened, but they have like this reenactment film to kind of show, you know, visually what's going on, because it's film, it's a visual medium. It's almost narrated, right? Narrated reenactments. It's pretty entertaining for the most part. They're interesting shows when they get some weird stuff going on. They're more so informational, and people that want to kind of, you know, learn about that kind of stuff, or just see weird stuff that happens in those professions, because they're professions that weird stuff happens in. Overall, great, like, genre of show. Like, they've done a good job. It's very successful. Same kind of thing with Haunted. So what they do each episode is sit down this person that's had something happen to them, generally with some friends, mostly family members. Some of those family members have had it happen to them, you know, like the mother that didn't believe her child at first is there and now is all apologetic. And that's kind of what they do every episode. And the episodes vary in length. The first episode's like 20 minutes, but the second one's like a half an hour. And then I think the last one's like almost an hour long. But anyway, they vary in length depending on what the story is told, because it's Netflix. They don't have to worry about commercials, so it can be as long as they fucking well want. And at first, it draws you in really, really well. So there's no premise to set up. The first episode, the guy just boom starts talking about his fucking story, which is kind of annoying, because you would think they'd kind of set up like, this show is about this is what the people are going to be doing, this is, you know, Jason, he's going to talk about how he was haunted when he was a child. And that kind of irked me, and almost was like, oh, this might not be very good. But the first episode does draw you in. It has really cool visual effects. The story of the ghost thing is kind of cool, and it follows along quite well, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's not too bad. There's a lot of things that are really shitty. The acting is awful. And all the other things. Disclaimer, I'm not saying that this is fake in any way, and nor am I ever insinuating anything like that, so you don't sue me. Don't sue me. But it's fake. It's totally fake. These are actors. They're really not that great. These stories, if they did happen, are wildly exaggerated. and just are not believable at all, because ghosts aren't real. But anyway, it's just not believable. And while the first episode is entertaining enough to keep my attention, the show goes downhill very quickly. They talk about, the one episode is about this dad who was a Satanist serial killer in backwater New York in the 70s. And I'm thinking to myself, A, who the fuck is this guy? And B, they're talking about this satanic dad and the mother that knows what's going on, and I don't know whether she's just scared to go against him or what the issue is. But anyway, the dad dies. She kills him eventually. The host told her to do it because the demons are there. And, you know, the mom moves in with one of the kids. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, this dad is a fucking serial killer. These kids left, right? They managed to leave this house somehow. If this dad was a serial killer, he would have never, ever, ever let those kids leave. He would have killed them first. It talks about how he abuses them horribly and manipulates them to never talk about it or leave. And like, there's a scene where he has a knife and he's talking about killing one of the two sisters if one of the other sisters says anything, right? But there's a point when you leave, if he allows you to leave, somehow you get away, which, wouldn't fucking happen. You'd have to sneak out. One of the girls goes camping with this other sister and comes back, and the dad finds out and, like, tries to strangle her, and the mom says something before the daughter hits him with a pan or whatever. And then she runs out the door, right? And the dad comes out the door with this, like, baseball bat thing and just stands on the deck staring at her, and they stare at each other for like 30 seconds, and then she runs off like limply into the woods. That serial killer dad in real life would not be standing on that deck staring at her. He would be chasing her down and killing her. That makes absolutely no sense. Like, it's ridiculous. And so these kids get away and just never tell the cops that this guy, their dad, killed who knows how many drifters and prostitutes and just random fucking people walking along the road hitchhiking. This guy's a hitchhike killer. He kills what they call strays, which is just drifters, right? Homeless people, pickers, if you're from an area that hires pickers, you know, stuff like that, right? That's who he killed. He killed dozens of them by the sounds of this story. Nobody fucking tells the police. Even after he's dead, they're not like, oh, hey, now that he's dead and he can't hurt us, he killed all of these people. Nobody fucking says this at all throughout the entire thing. They're not like, oh yeah, once he did die, you know, this house is all fucked up and stuff, but we never bothered to call the cops. The son's like, I cleaned out the house. I found some really horrific things, but I cleared it out and threw it in the trash into this fucking bin that I hired. Why would you not call the fucking police, you idiots? Like, it's so bad acting. It's awful. So bad. And they're in this, like, creepy room and stuff. And I'm like, if you're genuinely afraid of these ghosts that are going to come after you or whatever, you would probably be doing this, or rather be doing this in a well-lit fucking studio apartment in the middle of New York or something. They come into this creepy house for the atmosphere, I understand, but it's just so poorly put together, and it's so poorly acted. Like, they try to cry, and you can see a few tears, you know, whatever, and you can tell they haven't had much practice in this. They're stuttering fairly frequently. They stop on their words a lot. There's just a lot of things that show amateur acting hour, and it's not like just they're nervous. You know what I mean? Like, there's no nervous twitches or anything. They're just bad actors. One of them talks about how this, this poltergeist thing chased them around or whatever for a while, and then they moved and it left, and then at the very, very end of the episode they talk about how now it's back and it's getting worse. It's like, what? And then it just ends. That's it. Nothing happens. There's no resolution. There's no suggestions from anybody like, oh, go talk to a priest, or oh, maybe you should do this, or maybe do that, you know, to help you with this thing that's chasing you. No, it just, It just cuts to TV static, and then the episode ends. It's like, oh yeah, scare tactic. That was very fucking scary. It's just so poorly thought out and so poorly executed that no wonder it has no fucking ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, because everybody's ignoring it for Haunting on Hill House, because Hill House, though it has flaws, is overall way better done. It has a really good story. The actors genuinely are pretty good for the most part. Besides the jump scares, the atmosphere is very creepy and unnerving. The scary parts that don't have jump scares are genuinely frightening. I am actually pretty fucking scared watching this until the jump scare happens, and I'm like, fuck you. But still, Haunting on Hill House is way better than just Haunted. If you're going to watch one of these two shows, don't watch Haunted. Don't support Haunted. Haunted needs to go away. Haunting on Hill House could have a second season maybe next year, next Halloween. That would be kind of cool. But not Haunted. Fuck this show. It's so bad. Very poorly done. No. Just no. Anyway, that's it. That's it for me ranting. Don't watch this show. It's really poorly done. Again, I'm not saying anybody's fake, but they're fake. And I'm not saying it's acted, but it's totally acted. And I'm not saying all of these stories are untrue, or at the very least, very, 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 very exaggerated, but they are. Thanks for watching. Happy Halloween. Get all the candy. Send some my way. That would be fantastic. Obviously, I need more candy. I'm a skinny dude, right? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace. Fuck that show.